ripping and roasting. Yeah, that's what we do. Set 'em up, knock 'em down, make that cherry glow. Whiskey and cigars, the gentleman's cologne.
Cheers, y'all.
Well, that sounds like a party just about to happen, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this fine radio program, podcast, and video extravaganza, known internationally
Hi, Mom.
as the world-famous Smokin' and Toastin'. Our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. It's show number 452, and welcome to it because Ian's responsible for the math on the show, but if I were to guess, I would say we're...
Well, when you sit down and you go and you cross the hypotenuse and you go across the other math equation words and you cut it in half, it's just above halfway to 500.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. And I like crossing the hypotenuse. That's important. That's almost like crossing the Rubicon, which is which is what we'll try to do on today's show.
Isn't that a Jeep?
It's good. I think it is. It's going to be a good show today. You know how I know? Because when I first came in, the first thing I saw was your note from last week that said the last two stories were from last week. And I was repeating stories last week that I'd already done.
Well,
on
because
the show.
remember, because I discreetly handed you that note.
It was very discreet. Of course, I immediately read it out
You
loud.
immediately discreetly read it out loud.
Ruined the discretion. But the point is, I looked at it before we started the show. So this time, there's at least a 50-50 chance that I won't repeat stories from the previous week. So I'm excited about it. We have a lot to cover on today's show because we're going to talk about how to spot fake Cuban cigars. There's some steps you can take to spot them, and we'll go over those with you so you don't get
That's easy.
taken.
If you go to Costa Maya, any cigar you buy there.
Well, that's one of the things to know, yes.
I'll tell that story.
And I would say if you're going somewhere on a cruise ship and you stop at a port of call, at least a 90% chance the Cuban cigars there are fake that you're seeing. Yeah.
Wow.
At least that would be my experience.
Oh, there's so much fakery. I will tell you, like, you'd have to be, well, we'll talk about it when that article comes up. You have to be kind of clever because it should be reasonably easy to see it.
We're also going to be talking about the best pumpkin beers of 2025.
Pumpkin, we should have pumpkin beers. I mean, it's October already.
Well, guess what? We're going to have one today.
Oh.
So it's one of the rare times that I've actually matched one of the things that we're tasting to one of the stories that we're doing. Sometimes I match them to stories that we did last week, which means that
Well, it's easy.
it's
You just
good
tell
to
the same
repeat that
story again.
Exactly. So our beer tasting today from Evil Twin Brewing in Ridgewood, New
Evil
York.
Twin, yes.
We'll be tasting. Now, this is the...
They always have the longest name.
Yes, and in this case, they've gone exactly the other way. It's an Italian Pils called Greenhouse. That's it, Greenhouse. Now, I will say on the can, they have a very long description of what the Italian Pils is, but the name is shorter. It's Greenhouse. Usually their names are things like, I was thinking it would be lovely if we got together and took a walk, or something like that.
I mean,
it's
it's that ridiculous.
yeah.
Standing on the corner standing next to a phone book on the corner. What is it?
Standing next to a phone booth
booth.
with an empty quarter. I don't know.
With
something.
a quarter in my pocket. Yeah,
Yeah.
with a change in my pocket.
Yeah. You can tell how memorable that song was because we can not quite remember what the title was.
I'm not sure what song that is.
Oh, yeah, it was I've been downhearted, baby. I've been downhearted, baby. Ever since the day we met. Ever since the day we met.
You go, man. I think you missed your calling.
No, I think we've just lost any audience we had from broadcast. Yeah.
I just want you to know that now you can be heard singing on the radio.
It's a crime, is what it is.
So you just check that one right off of your bucket list there, buddy.
So bucket list, sing on radio. Oh, okay. What's my next one? Don't repeat stories from the previous week. Okay, I'll work on that. From San Diego, California, and the Pure Project Brewing Company, we'll be trying Diamond Dust, which is what they call a Murky IPA.
Murky.
And
somebody came out with the truth.
Yeah. So it's not just juicy, it's not just hazy, it's murky.
murky.
So we'll get to that as well. And finally, from Martin House Brewing Company, which is out of the greater Fort Worth, Dallas area, their Super Smash Pumpkin Stout. So I'm excited about that.
Okay.
So, yeah. So see how it aligns with. We're going to be talking about pumpkin beers.
Pumpkin beers. Okay, so there's a contingency of people out there who just don't like them. Mm-hmm. But pumpkin beers can be very polarizing because there's some really, really good ones, and then some that are just not.
And some pumpkin beers contain no pumpkin. They just contain those spices like pumpkin pie spice, which makes it kind of taste like pumpkin or pumpkin pie. But,
Yeah.
but
I think that's true of not just pumpkin beer. I think that's true of a lot of the pumpkin spice that happens at this time of year.
Yeah.
People either go to Starbucks and they want that or they don't want that.
I'm okay with pumpkin spice beers, but I have no need for like pumpkin spice like popsicles and stuff. There's things that there's things that should
they
never.
are going too far with
Yeah,
it
it's
these
things
days.
that should never be pumpkin spice. I tell you what should always be in your repertoire though is Rye Single Barrel, and we'll be trying some of that. It's a Spec's barrel pick. We'll be trying that on the show
Templeton
today.
Rye Single Barrel.
Very excited about
So
that.
I just want to point out that our friend Alan Denny, who shows up on the show once in a while.
Yes.
He sent me a picture a while back. It's and
I don't know that you can show that on the.
just for fun. It's just for fun. It's all of the pumpkin spice beers
I don't think you can file harassment charges on him for sending you that.
That he had managed to collect. But the best part of that isn't that. He sent that in a group text to my wife, and his wife was also on there. And his wife responded with, "He's basic with his Oktoberfest beer, like a white girl with pumpkin spice."
From now on, that's how I'm referring to Alan Denny is a white girl with pumpkin spice.
Yep, that's right. That's his new nickname.
We'll bring you a couple of our favorite long-running segments here on the program. The Drunken Fact is something that we like to bring you so that if you're ever at a party, you need to, lay down some knowledge, make people think that you're, really smart, especially if they've been drinking. This can really work. Our Drunken Fact teaser headline today. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the riff. I may never brush my teeth again.
Wow.
And we also will be doing Drinking News in the second hour of the show. Drinking News is where we bring you a story from the news that is sometimes not always about drinking, but always best enjoyed if you've been drinking. And our Drinking News teaser headline for today is... Be free, little bunnies and birdies. Which actually is something that a former flame of mine used to say when playing Sonic the Hedgehog. And there's a certain thing that you do where you jump on this thing and it lets all the captured birds and bunny rabbits free. Oh. And she used to say, "Be free, little bunnies and birdies." So that stuck with me. One of the only positive things I remember about that relationship. So, so there's that. Tell you about some cigars to watch for that we didn't tell you about last week, and a lot more, including, by the way, the portion of the program where we like to bring in a beverage that only one of us knows what it is, and that is the person what brung it. Today, that person is me. It's a little segment we call... The Beverage of Mystery. Makes it sound a lot better than it usually is, doesn't it?
Right? That sounds more epic.
Although we're on a roll. We've had 2 weeks in a row where we have actually liked the Beverage of Mystery.
Yeah, this brings up a point of contention.
Yeah.
Partly because of that, but also partly because, you've been bringing all the Beverage of Mystery. I think I want to bring one next week.
Okay, that's fine. I'm always down for you to be the Beverage
I still
of
have
Mystery
some Malort.
provider.
I mean, what?
See,
I'm sorry, did I say that?
I'm sorry, did I say I was always down for you to bring
Always
one?
down.
Yeah, no, I have to edit that. No, I brought in today's Beverage of Mystery. It'll be interesting to see you guys taste it. Sometimes it's a seltzer, sometimes it's a canned cocktail, sometimes it's a beer. When Ian brings it, sometimes it's Malort. We just have to see what we're dealing with.
I was going to say
here.
it smells like Old Spice, but I think that's my hand.
It doesn't have much of a nose at all.
Yeah.
I'm not smelling much at all.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
if I
not
get
much nose.
really
I
close-
literally smell my hand soap more than I smell.
If I get close to it, maybe I'm starting to smell a little appley or something.
I don't know. I've taken a sip. I think the hand soap may be from the beverage itself. I just think that's entirely possible. I don't know. See what you think. It's ice cold. I stuck it in the freezer for a few
Well,
minutes.
that helps it a lot.
And it actually iced over.
That helps it a lot.
It's almost a little green apple-y.
Mm-hmm.
It does. I stick with the apple thing that I almost smelled. I almost taste apple, too.
You know what?
I mean, it's almost green apple because there's almost flavor in it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It almost smells like apple. It almost tastes like apple. It's almost
tastes like-
apple. If it's
All right.
not called almost
Hold on.
apple,
You guys discuss this for a moment because I'm apparently not happy to see you at all because I do not have
There's
a beverage
no
of mystery in my
beverage
pocket.
of mystery
So I
in
have to
your
go
pocket.
pick it up out of
It's
the other
forgotten
room.
in the other room. So it's interesting because it tastes like it almost is a cider, or like it's almost a beer that happens to have some appley flavor.
yeah,
to
it really does because it does not taste like much, and all I get is that light. It's almost apple, almost flavor. I mean,
Here's the funny thing: is it's not bad,
no.
but not bad does
It
not
could-
mean good.
It could be light natural flavor. I mean, I think it's natural flavor. There's not I don't taste any aftertaste of sugar or aspartame or
No,
anything
there's
like
no-
that. There's no.
But
yeah.
I literally can't tell if this is trying to be a beer or if it's trying to be a
yeah.
cider.
I am also confused because at first I thought beer, but I do lean a little cider.
So it has a beer. It has an incredibly light, flavorless beer body to it.
Yes.
But
Is that like a flightless bird, a flavorless beer?
Flavorless
yeah,
beer.
well, it's like a macro.
Well, you've heard of beer without alcohol. This is
Yes.
beer without flavor.
it's like
Well-
a macro brew.
Well, I have a confession to make, guys. I have brought this as a beverage of mystery before. This is the second time this has been
Really?
a beverage of
Oh,
mystery.
you didn't do that again. You're just trying to get
Is
rid of
this
that
like a-
crap out of the fridge. It's that Michelob Ultra. It's that Michelob
he
Ultra.
sees right
Jeez.
through you.
Jeez.
You have a question for me
He
at this
sees right
point?
there. Is that a
Yeah, it's
beverage of mystery in your pocket, or are you just happy to see us?
Well, kudos to Terry. He called it. This is Michelob Ultra Zero. There's some,
Jeez.
it says on the can that
Zero
it is
flavor.
A
Well, it says it right on the
superior
can.
alcohol-free brew, and there it is. A
It
slightly
says
crushed
it's
for being in my
Michelob
pocket.
Ultra Zero. There's zero flavor. There's zero alcohol.
So here's the reason that I chose to make a return engagement with this. Well, there's two reasons.
I
Number
want to
one,
point out that Topo Chico has more flavor than that.
Yeah. Well, number one, there's two reasons, and number one, Terry already nailed, which is we have a
How many of them have gone since you put them in there? You put 11 in there.
It's a 12 pack.
yeah.
I took one out the first time I did it at
Yep.
Beverage of Mystery. I took another one out today. It's been in the work fridge here for at least a month.
Yep.
There's 10 left.
It can't even get stolen from the work fridge.
Yeah. That's where we're at. But the reason I brought this back today is that this non-alcoholic beer from Michelob Ultra is being heralded as the reason we have a new #1 beer brand in America. The beer brand for the last several years that's been #1 has been Michelob Ultra. It was Bud Light for some time.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I said that wrong. It isn't Michelob Ultra. It's been Modelo.
Oh.
Modelo Especial has been
nice.
the biggest one. It's now been overtaken by Michelob Ultra, and part of the reason is they are including the sales of Michelob Ultra Zero, which apparently is selling very well.
Wow, really?
Which amazes me
This
because
is perfect for people who don't want, or who
Things-
want beer but don't want any flavor or substance.
well, I put it into the freezer to keep it cold because I thought it'd be better if it's super ice cold. And
It was better super ice cold.
It was in there for like maybe 5 minutes before we started the show, and when I brought it out, it had ice crystals. It was starting to freeze, which
No.
makes sense because it's just water.
You know how some restaurants or even hotels or something like that, they'll have a big water thing and they'll have some fruits chopped up in it, and so you get a little bit of the essence
Yeah.
of those fruits.
Yeah.
Right? This is a little bit like that with carbonated water, only less flavor.
Yeah,
I feel like
agree.
maybe people just drink this instead of water.
I think
like
it would-
maybe people that don't like water just drink this.
Well, I mean, okay, so I want to go ahead and point something out. That what is the percentage of water in beer? It's like 97%, right? Or some
Yeah.
ridiculous
Yeah.
amount, right? And this doesn't have any alcohol,
Right.
and very little beer in it. So this is like 90. This is almost just pure water.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be a good day to bring this because we have a very overproofed whiskey. So it'll balance out the non-alcoholic beer be balanced out, we hope, by the end of the show, by the overproofed whiskey. So.
This was not one that won on our non-alcoholic beer taste test,
No,
by the way.
no, it did not. And
Which, just for you, for those of you who missed it, this was on a previous episode. We did, in fact, have beer with alcohol in it as a palate cleanser in between our non-alcoholic beers.
And we'll get some palate cleansing very soon on this program.
And we
It's
actually
Smoking
found
and
some that
Toasting,
were quite drinkable.
and we'll be right back. Welcome back. It's Smoking and Toasting. Our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars.
I love those things.
We are just excited to be here and excited to be doing it, and we're excited to bring you the Drunken Fact once again. So I always have to give Terry a moment to get the reverb ready. Are we good?
Yeah, we're
All
good
right,
to go.
all right. We're a
We are
professional.
good to go.
It's a professional show, ladies
Well
and
done,
gentlemen.
sir.
We actually do this for a living. Not a good living, but a living. And so, Terry, lay it on us here.
And now it's time for another Smoking and Toasting Drunken Fact.
The segment that exists only so we can keep playing that fanfare, because it's golden. It's golden. A Drunken Fact is where we bring you a fact that we know to be true because we found it on the internet. And the idea behind this is that, you can like save this, squirrel it away in the corner of your brain, and then drop some knowledge on someone when you're at a party or an appropriate event where you want to look like you really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're trying to boost you up, make you look good.
And this one will definitely make you a favorite with the ladies. There is an 80% chance, today's Drunken Fact, there is an 80% chance that your toothbrush has fecal matter on it.
Oh, well, that's
Even,
positive.
even if it's stored in a closed container.
So you're just saying I should say this at a dinner party, maybe?
Even toothbrushes stored outside the bathroom may be contaminated.
What? Okay,
with fecal
what?
matter. Yeah.
What if you keep it in the kitchen?
Yeah.
What if you still got a little
if
doo-doo on
if
it?
you think about that, the only way this can be true, because nobody's dipping their toothbrush in the toilet, so the only way this can be true is if there's fecal matter literally floating through the air in your bathroom.
Well, I'm to understand that when you flush a toilet,
There's
that's
what's called the plume.
Yeah, and that's why if you don't close your toilet, like when you would flush it, this could, But of course, I have my toothbrush. It's in the little, holder, and then that is in the medicine cabinet, and it has a cover on it. So
Wow.
then I'm going to be like, wow.
So that's a two-stage security,
yeah,
right?
that's at least two-stage
well,
security.
there
for
you
my
go.
toothbrush.
This fact will make you a big hit with the ladies at the party.
I feel like if you start a conversation that way at a party, you're probably not going to.
Yeah, that
You're
one's
probably
not-
not going to be the popular one.
That one, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of these that I think could be fun to bring up at a party.
Yeah.
But probably don't, like, hi.
Did you know?
Did you know?
Did you know?
Amber, it's so nice to meet you. Did you know?
The thing is that you also want to do that when you're next to the hors d'oeuvres or something.
Right, right.
Like someone's eating.
Yeah, exactly. Ian, I suppose you had an opportunity to smoke something interesting this week?
I suppose I did, sir.
Tell us about
West
it.
Tampa Tobacco Company.
Oh, interesting. I did one of their cigars a while back.
I haven't had a bad one yet.
Okay.
The Devil Crab.
Oh, I did not have the devil crab. This is a great name.
The Devil Crab. This is named after a dish.
Okay.
Right? That it's a crab dish. It's got some fried crab bits in it and stuff like that. And it got the name Devil Crab because sometimes they make it very spicy.
Ah, gotcha.
You can go look that up if you want. It has an undisclosed wrapper, binder, and filler. There's no telling what's in this thing besides devil crabbery.
Okay.
The appearance on this, it has, this is a small Solomon. It's about 4.5 inches by 60. So it's actually very similar to the Flying Pig by Drew Estates.
right, which is the Muat flying pig.
Right, or they also do it in the other line. I'm blanking on it right now, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so this has a pigtail on the end, medium brown wrapper, oily, very few veins, and overall pretty solid to the touch. Like, you pick it up, it's a weighty little cigar. You can feel kind of the quality in it. Pretty light sniff on this, sweet and earthy, fermented hay, barnyard, a little bit of cinnamon and some bullion. Pre-light draw. I used a clip. It has a closed foot, so I got very little draw from it.
Yeah.
But that's the way a closed foot is. So I got a little bit of sweet coffee, some wood, and some earth out of it. I did a initial light on this. The draw immediately opens up to a light and easy draw. We have a runner. It started running right down one side.
And this is a fairly small cigar, right?
It is. I corrected it with a lighter. And it just took a couple seconds, right?
Okay.
The initial puffs are woody and beefy, backed by a sweet coffee and a bit of pepper, and cinnamon heat. Retrohale is woody and sweet with a touch of pepper. By the first third of the cigar, the burn has evened out. Pepper picks up a bit, spicy beef bouillon, and coffee follows, interspersed with fermented hay, campfire, and sweet cream, all on a bed of something between cedar and oak. Retrohale is woody and sweet with some pepper, solid ash, good burn. So the burn has evened itself out now. It's good. Proposed pairing on this, you need something a little bit sweet, I think. So I put down Scotch ale or a nice cognac.
Oh, nice.
I think would be very nice with this cigar. Second third of the sweet creamy notes blend with woody undertones to great effect. A drier earthiness plays on the palate, vying for attention amongst the beefy and spicy bits. Retrohale is woody and sweet with some pepper, solid ash, perfect burn by this point. The last third of the cigar, wood is the theme here, along with a bitter coffee aftertaste, in a good way, by the way. Underlying sweetness and campfire remain consistent. Beef bouillon and cinnamon lingers long after each puff. Retrohale is woody and sweet with pepper. Solid ash, perfect burn. This is a $14 cigar.
Ooh.
13 something,
Yeah.
but close enough.
Yeah.
It's worth every penny. I give it a solid 5. I will
Nice.
buy. As a matter of fact, this is my second of these cigars. I had one 2 days ago, and because I liked it so much, I said, I'm going to review this one, and I bought a second one before I
nice.
left the cigar shop.
Nice.
Wow.
Well, I always say that, I don't mind tending a cigar if it develops a runner or a little bit of a canoe. What I mind is when I have to tend it the entire time I'm smoking.
Yeah. If you have to tend it, like this one, it started to run right at the light, and then I corrected it once, and then it by the end of it, it was a perfect burn.
Awesome. All right, I'll tell you about my cigar from this week. Plus, we'll get into a little beer tasting, and I promise, these beers are actually beers. They're not beer flavored water, and even beer flavored is being, I think, very generous about the Michelob Ultra
I couldn't
Zero.
tell if even after I tried it, I couldn't tell if it was trying to be cider.
We'll be right back at Smoking and Toasting. Welcome back at Smoking and Toasting. Our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. And I just want to mention, by the way, since neither of you has brought it up, I have the most badass shirt.
You do.
My wife got me this for my birthday, and I'm like, I don't know whether she thinks I have a lot of appreciation for, art, or whether she just thinks I drink a lot. But either way, I dig the shirt, and thank you, darling.
That was pretty sweet.
This is an awesome gift. Thank you. We are on Smoking and Toasting show number 452, and we're glad you're here with us. Thanks to our radio family around the country. We have stations all over the place now airing Smoking and Toasting, which goes to show what I've been saying for a long time, which is there's a real sort of drought of quality radio programming out there on the weekends.
Yes.
So that's why we were able to find a home at some of these stations. So
We're able to sneak in there. So just randomly, and this just happened on my phone.
Yeah.
While we're talking, I get a text from Alan.
Yeah, Alan Denny, who nobody cares about.
Alan Denny, and he just randomly texted me with the Oktoberfest from Real Ale Brew Company might be the perfect pairing of Maltastic and Hopapalooza.
Oh, well, even though I generally reject any statements that contain a turn of the phrase Appalooza, except for the actual music festival Lollapalooza itself, that's still worth investigating.
I think he was making fun of the terminology that we created a couple weeks ago.
I think probably so. I forget what it was, but
Maltastic was one of them.
Maltastic. Yes, that's right. I like it. I like it better than Hopapalooza, I think. I smoked. Speaking of Alan Denny, I smoked a very interesting cigar this week, and it was one that was given to me by our old friend Alan Denny. And even though it's been said that nobody cares about this guy, I do. If for no other reason than he gave me a cigar. which I really appreciated. It's the Penn Standard Gold Standard Lancero.
Oh, yeah.
And Penn Standard is a brand put out by Raymond Pejas and the Tabacalera Pejas Cigar Company. And the Penn name, you see what I did there, Penn? It comes from the Pennsylvania tobacco that's included in the blend for all Penn Standard cigars and gives them much of their rich flavor. Now, I don't know how...
Also, it's called Penn State, and it has the Penn State colors.
Well, that's the Nittany Lions, right? Okay. I can't believe I remembered that. I don't know how widespread Raymond Pejas distribution is, but I know that you can get these on Cigar Page. And the one I smoked this week, like I said, was given to me by Alan Denny, and I do appreciate the fact that he did this. And let this be a lesson, by the way, to anyone trying to get on my good side. A cigar generally works. Although I'm not sure how it benefits anyone to be on my good side. But that's not important right now. What is important is how the cigar smoking experience went down. So let's start with the pre-light, mellow but rich tobacco.
I just want to point out that I've been on your good side before.
Yeah?
And it was awkward.
Yeah, that's noted. The pre-light, mellow but rich tobacco, cedar, and a very light barnyard and hay note. I lit up this 7x42 Lancero and dove in immediately to a toasty and bready flavor profile with dried fruits and cedar on the palate. But the interesting thing, from about the fourth or fifth puff was the emergence of pepper. The pepper tang that the Penn Standard Gold Standard left on the tongue notched this one up because I was expecting one of those, mild toast-oriented cigars, like a Connecticut wrapper will generally do for you. And this one cranked up from mild to medium before I was even partway through the first third. Construction seemed very good. The ash held on for about an inch at a time before falling. I mentioned that the Gold Standard uses Pennsylvania-grown tobacco in its blend, along with Nicaraguan leaves and a Connecticut Ecuadorian wrapper. So the cigar has a little kick to it. It's not full-bodied by any means, but this is not your father's mellow Connecticut wrapped smoke. Little background on Raymond Pejas. He was a big shot at his brother-in-law's company, cigar company, before leaving to open his own. It's possible you might have heard of his brother-in-law before. His name is A.J. Fernandez.
That guy.
This is all starting to make a little sense to me now. By the second third, a really savory and slightly salty element was added to the mix of flavors. Citrus zest, cream, and more pepper as it worked its way to the final third. The last portion of the cigar became even more complex. I don't smoke a lot of Lanceros, but I really appreciated the concentration of the flavors in this cigar. My take on this one so far is that it's similar to a San Lotano, Connecticut, or a My Father, Connecticut, but with just a little more oomph to it. Pepper, salt, dried fruit, cedar, and a creamy latte flavor, all rotated in and out of the profile in the final third. This was probably one of the most complex Connecticut shade cigars that I've ever tried. If you like milder Connecticut smokes and you're looking to maybe take a little step upward in strength, this would be a great next cigar for you. And at $4 to $5 a stick.
That's
because
pretty darn good.
Alan Denny is nothing if he's not lavishing expensive gifts on his friends.
That's right.
It's very impressive at $4 to $5. A lot less expensive than those similar smokes that I mentioned. My only complaint was that the ginormous white band was difficult to remove when I got to the last half of the cigar, and it tore up the wrapper in places. So I would recommend taking that band off before the cigar heats up. I think that would help keep that from
Actually,
happening.
I think they recommend that you wait till the cigar heats up because then it softens the glue. But
I would say in this case, you may want to do it first because I think the wrapper was softened, and that's one of the reasons that it tore.
Gotcha.
So, suggested pairing, a Glenmorangie 10-year or a Plantaray Stiggins Fancy Pineapple Rum.
Nice.
Go very nicely with this beauty. Great flavors, excellent construction, except for that issue with the band, and a really nice smoking experience all around. Thank you, Alan Denny. I don't care what Ian says about you. You're all right.
It's come up a few times in this show.
Price to quality, a 6.
Cheers, by the way.
Give it a 6. And so we
Six,
are...
pretty nice. Yeah, dude, the Penn Standards, I mean, they come across, when you're looking at them on the page, they come across almost like a, because you don't know the name, right?
Yeah.
And they almost come across like a budget line cigars. And the first time I tried them was just in a sample pack that I got from from Cigar Page just had a whole bunch of different stuff, and I tried that Penn Standard, was like immediately blown away by how good it was.
And I've reviewed the broadleaf, the Connecticut broadleaf Penn Standard on the
Broadleaf
show before,
is
and it's
really good.
it's a fantastic cigar. It really is. So Ian has poured our first beer. This is the Italian Pils called Greenhouse, but it's more than just an Italian Pils.
Greenhouse tastes like apples. Maybe it's just me today. Greenhouse tastes like green apples.
No, I get it too.
It's delightfully carbonated.
Mm-hmm.
It's carbonated just to the point where it almost adds a little bit of spice on the tongue. This is Greenhouse Italian Pils, Tettnang condition. I don't know what Tettnang means. Condition on American oak fooder.
I think my uncle was there in Vietnam.
Yeah,
That's
thank you. That was
Tettnang
exactly.
offensive.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of information
That
on
was
here.
amazing.
Keep refrigerated, drink fresh, coming in at 6.5%, no, 5.5%.
So I like this. It's got, at its base, it's got a fairly typical Italian Pilsner taste to it, but it has this tang that it leaves on the tongue.
It does. It's
You know?
it's literally like a Granny Smith green apple, like
Absolutely.
a really
That
green
sort
apple
of sharp
kind
tartness, yeah.
of tartness on the end. It's really
Not-
nice.
Not tart like a like a sour beer or like a one of the boiler room type beers, but it's
Well, it also
got a tartness.
it's
all the
also
same.
doubled up with a little bit of it's on that American oak fooder. So I guess it's because it's got that oak astringency to it, that kind of accentuates the tartness just a little bit. But man, it makes you want to go back and have another sip.
Evil Twin Brewing is out of Ridgewood, New York, and I got to say, they do not disappoint. They are creative, but even going with a more basic beer style like an Italian Pils, they managed to, crank the creativity up a notch or two on this particular
Bet
style.
this is good with garlic bread.
I'll just say most things are good with garlic bread.
Garlic
But yes,
bread's so
I think this would work really, really well. Sometimes I want to go to like Carrabba's and just order like water and eat the garlic bread. Oh,
Right.
so good. Or like restaurants, like we have a restaurant here, Grotto, which is walking distance from my house. And the thing I love most, and they stopped doing this, but before they did, they would bring you a basket of bread, before you order, and included was like these little pizza strip type things. They didn't have a lot of cheese on them, but they had pizza sauce, and the bread was so Sorry, I'm drinking this and thinking how great it would be with something like that.
We're running low on our show-sponsored pretzels.
Yeah, we certainly are. Speaking of show sponsors, by the way, huge ups and big thanks to Eureka Heights, our show beer sponsor for this week. For this month rather. We're all enjoying one of their Von Wolfhausen. The best beer, Feist beer.
They make quite a few beers that I love and drink on a regular basis. I do love, however, when they sponsored us for this month here.
Yep.
That they just brought Von Wolfhausen.
That's the only. Usually, and
a lot of it. And
our show beer sponsor will bring an assortment, which I enjoy. But
you know what?
But I'm okay
it's
with
fresh.
this.
It's fresh.
Oh, yeah.
It's good. Like I like when we get that stuff and they're just like it just came. Like they just finished canning.
It's
and
like
they
a
bring
commercial.
it
You
over to
open it
us.
up and it goes fresh.
Yeah.
well, when you go to a brewery tap room. And you order a beer that you've maybe had from them before in a can or a bottle, but you order it like fresh from the tap, and you're like, "Oh my god!" That's like drinking a Lone Pint Yellow Rose at the Lone Pint Brewery. There's no experience quite like that. I recommend it. If it's not on your bucket list, it should be.
Put it on there.
Yeah, put it on there because it's pretty amazing. Speaking of Lone Pint Yellow Rose, and Lone Pint's been our show beer sponsor before, I'm really thrilled to see how their reach into Houston restaurant and bars has become more and more successful.
Seen them in more places now?
Yeah, Mary took me out for a birthday dinner last week. We went to Bohème in the
happy birthday, by the way.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you. We went to Bohème, and there it was, right there on the menu, Lone Pint Yellow Rose. I was like, yes, I'll be having one of those. Yes, I'll be having more than one of those because it's my birthday. I can do it. She can drive. But no, I find this actually quite refreshing. It's usual. Most pilsners are a more refreshing style of beer, but this is
I like it.
kind of big on the flavor, but still very refreshing.
It's very drinkable. It's very apple forward, if you ask me.
It's like
But
what
it's really
the
nice.
beverage of mystery would have been if it would have been a good beer.
Well, I think you can apply that to most beverages of mystery. If it had been a good beer, it would have been really awesome. Did I tell you guys about this? Belgium has decided to become California.
If it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium.
Yeah. Belgium, now you will be able to smoke anywhere you want in Belgium as long as it's not inside or outside.
Or outside.
Belgium
Can I come
is
into the outside now?
planning to ban smoking on public terraces and in cigar lounges.
You're banning smoking in cigar lounges?
Yeah, seriously?
Wow.
So hang on just a second.
Wow.
I'm just taking Belgium off of my bucket list.
Bucket list of things
Yeah.
to do. Yeah, places to go.
Yeah. Either that or you go and you try to smoke there anyway and just see like how seriously they take this law. And that's when you get a long distance collect phone call where I go, Ian, it's Cruz. I'm in a Belgian prison. I need help.
Belgian prison.
What did you do? I smoked a cigar.
We'll take the EM50 from Stripes and get you out.
That's right.
That Winnebago.
But what's this about though? I mean, I understand.
What does it do?
I understand at least the thought process, whether I agree with it or not, behind banning smoking in restaurants and
Sure.
bars. I get it. There are people that want to attend those and don't want to deal with the secondhand smoke. Although I thought I came up with the perfect solution to that when they first started instituting smoking bans in bars around the United States. I said, don't do a ban, do this. Give huge tax breaks to bars that go non-smoking.
Oh.
Some of them will go non-smoking
Yep.
in order to get the tax break.
Yeah.
And the people who don't want to be in a smoky bar can go to those.
That's right.
And others will say, we'll make more money by appealing to people who want to smoke at our bar. And they'll remain that way. And then if you or I wanted to go and smoke a cigar and have some drinks at that bar, we could.
But wait a second. I have an idea.
Yeah?
As a grown adult that goes around making my own decisions all the time, I don't want to have to do that. So I'd rather that the city or the government just make my decisions for me.
That would see how good that would be? And
I don't have to bother myself with it.
I think they could take it a step further. They could cancel you if you decide not to abide by any of those
That's
things.
true.
Or if you speak out against any of those things.
Then I'm just going to have to move to Minot, North Dakota, because I'm pretty sure I can smoke there.
But why
Can you
outside?
smoke in
Why
Minot?
do people?
I don't know.
What's the outside
I just picked a
ban
remote
help?
place.
I don't get it. I understand, by the way, the ban on smoking within a certain number of feet from the front door of the building. Like, I get
Okay.
that because people don't want to, non-smokers don't want to have to go in the building through a cloud of smoke from all the smokers that have gone right outside the door. Yeah, so I get it. You need us to get out of your way, and I'm okay with that. But come on. And I think a lot of this could be solved if people were just nice
Can
about
we
it.
just have a car exhaust ban? Oh, wait, they're doing that in California.
Yeah. But
Never mind.
if I'm someplace like an outdoor place where smoking is allowed, like an outdoor patio at a restaurant, I won't sit down and light up a cigar right next to a table where people are already sitting. I just won't do it. I don't think it's nice. I don't think it's fair to them. But if that table was empty and I sat down and started a cigar and you come and sit there, you have no grounds to ask me to put my cigar out.
I have dealt with that before. And like, I'm merciless on those people. Because I'm the same way. I will go find the most remote corner.
Right.
Like,
I'll
I don't
try
want
to stay out
anybody
of your
around
way.
me. I don't want to bother anybody.
But
and
if I
it's
was
fine.
there first and you choose to sit next to me, then you can't complain about
This
the
is
cigar.
true.
All right, I'm just saying. We got a lot more to do on the show. We got to talk to you about how to spot fake Cubans. So we'll get to that coming up, plus more beers to taste, and eventually some whiskey, some Templeton Rye. It's Smoking and Toasting. Welcome back. It's Smoking and Toast, and our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars.
Love those things.
And just during the break, I just wanted to revisit it because Ian brought up one of the great underrated comedy things of all time, which is Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, my gosh.
If you've never watched Flight of the Conchords, you can find it on HBO Max. It's brilliant. It's absolutely
I'm not
brilliant.
crying. It's just raining on my face.
So much. So much.
I'm
It's
sitting
so
at home
good.
making a lasagna for one.
Just so many great things. It's definitely one of the more underrated comedy shows or series out there, and definitely worth it. Ian is pouring a Murky IPA, so I'm really curious to see how Murky looks in a cup compared to, let's just say, a hazy or a juicy IPA. And it looks like it's
Heavens to Murgatroyds.
actually it looks very familiar actually to me as a juicy hazy IPA fan.
Heavens to Murgatroyds, even.
That was
No, you can't
was it
see
Top
through it.
Cat that used to
That
say
was-
heavens to Murky.
Was it? No, it was the
One of those. It was one of those Hanna-Barbera shows.
he was a pink.
Heavens
He
to
was a Snaggletooth.
Murgatroyd.
Snaggletooth
Maybe it
was his name.
Snaggletooth, yeah.
Snaggletooth.
Thank you. Wow, that that is a rather obscure but awesome reference. Thank you. I can always count on Terry for the obscure but awesome
I
reference.
still watch weird things. Like I was watching Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, the
What
other
about
day.
dude,
what about
yeah.
Jabberjaw?
Jabberjaw, the talking shark. I love it.
Jabberjaw.
But my favorite from them was the Wacky Races. Remember when they would get
love the Wacky
when they would get
Races.
all of the Hanna-Barbera
Yeah.
cartoon
Yes,
characters and they'd be in a race?
I love that. Yes,
And
yes.
Dastardly and Muttley would always try to cheat.
Yes.
And, people who don't know what we're talking about are like, what in the
Yeah,
hell?
but they missed out, man. That
Yeah.
was good. Good
well, you can
stuff.
find all this stuff these days online. So
Oh, yeah,
really-
yeah. Even-
Strats, and Double Drats.
Even
Yeah.
South Park remade, like they made one here a few years back, and it was Wacky Races.
I
Like they
love
were
it.
making,
I
they were
love
totally
it.
doing the
That's
Wacky
too
Races.
South Park has officially thought of everything.
This
Just
beer
so-
smells wonderful, by the
Yeah,
way.
this
nice.
is called Diamond Dust. It is from Pure Project Brewing, and it's described as lush, juicy, and tropical. And it comes in at 4.7, so
Oh,
it's
my.
not overly
It is
ABV.
lush,
This is,
juicy,
this
and
is
tropical.
touching me in a special place.
Wow.
Ooh, wow,
That's really good.
I like that.
It's incredibly interesting.
Yeah, it's got all kinds of flavor things
It's,
going on.
Yeah, it's fruity and malty right up front. Like like those two things together.
I'm getting pineapple and
Yes.
monk fruit and a little
Don't know
bit
what
of
a monk fruit
citrus.
tastes like.
I don't either, but I thought it would sound really cool if I said it. But yeah, I'm just getting all kinds of different
Yes,
fruit flavors
I am.
here.
It is.
And it's not like sweet fruit flavors.
No.
It's not like Lucky Charms or something
No,
like
no.
that. It's
I mean, they say it right here. It says beer for good.
Yeah.
which is one word longer than your famous beer saying, which is just beer good.
That's true. That's true. Well, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to use their powers for good instead of evil.
Well, if
So
I'm not
this is beer
mistaken,
for good.
if I'm not mistaken, this brewery may be 100% sustainable in terms of their ecological.
They don't really have a
footprint.
lot of information on the can either.
This has a very. I do taste the tropical. You know, like if you go and you get like the Minute Maid fruit punch versus the tropical punch, this is very much the tropical.
I'm
You
gonna
know
go ahead.
why? Because the tropical has monk fruit in it.
It has monk fruit in
That's
it.
why.
Exactly.
It's the monk fruit
It's the
difference,
monk
yes.
fruit.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and point out that this has, and even on the mouthfeel, it has a little bit of a smoothie,
Yes.
Yeah, it does. Even
smoothie
though-
kind of
yes.
mouthfeel.
Even
to
though
it.
it's only
Super-
like it's a little under 5%, and it's not in any way a milkshake
Wow, no.
IPA.
You are enjoying yours.
It tastes a lot like if you were to make
what are you trying to say?
you know, like a tropical punch spritzer, like with
Mm-hmm.
Sprite and tropical punch. This has a lot of that flavor to it.
It has just the right amount of carbonation to it as well. It's not a real heavily carbonated thing, but it's got enough to put a little spice at the tip of the tongue.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
Yes.
While we are enjoying this, and by the way, again, it's this almost impossible to miss. What color is that? Is that a blue-green? What is that?
Teal.
Aqua?
It's an aqua. It's more blue than green, but there's almost a kiss of green in it. Yeah.
I can't call something aqua now because then it makes me think of that song "Barbie Girl" by the band Aqua, and that just ruins my whole day. So
Life's
Come on,
fantastic
Barbie,
when
let's
you're
go
plastic.
party.
yeah.
Oh, I forgot the life's fantastic when you're plastic.
Some cigars to watch for, my friends.
I relate to that song. Deep down inside, I'm pretty shallow.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Wrapped in plastic, it's fantastic.
That's right.
Rock band Metallica and Drew Estate, I did not tell you about this last week, are expanding the Blackened line of cigars with a new size. The 2 new versions of Blackened are getting a new limited edition Lancero, measuring
tell me
7
they're
by
making a nub
40.
size.
And these skinny cigars made their first appearance at a September Drew Estate event, with more on the way. Jonathan Drew calls this new size a guitar solo in cigar form. So
I don't think Kirk Hammett smokes cigars.
I don't know, but definitely, definitely. The lead singer is. Sorry, I'm having a
Hetfield.
brain fart.
Oh, Hetfield, James
Yeah,
Hetfield.
definitely, he's a cigar guy.
Yeah.
You know this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Because I think
Maybe
in
not
fact,
so much. Kirk and Lars, maybe not so much.
I don't know. I just know Hetfield is because you can figure that his cigar smoking, especially over the years, may have attributed to that way that he ends every word with "hey yeah."
I think he stopped doing that, but that was a really annoying part of his singing
It
for a while.
was, and it was like good in small doses.
Yes,
He did
on
that.
the right part
he
of the
did
song.
that to turn the page, and it was very bad.
Turn the
Oh,
page.
turn the page.
Yeah. Anyway, the Lancero format showcases the blend in a way no other size can. They say because you get this incredible ratio of wrapper to filler, making every puff more rich, more refined. It's raw, real, and unapologetically bold, just like Blackened.
The Blackened cigars are fantastic.
They really are. I have one in my humidor that I've kind of been saving.
I buy them on a regular. They're
Special occasion.
fantastic.
Yeah. Oliva has launched a new size of their outstanding limited edition Milanio Serie V cigars. Oliva calls this, or Serie 5, I guess. Oliva calls this variation a tribute to the tobacco leaf. Okay.
All right.
That's a big statement. Measures 5 by 54, comes in 10-count boxes, and has a suggested retail price of $18 each. They're composed of an Ecuador Sumatra wrapper around Nicaraguan tobacco that Oliva grows on its own farms, and like all Serie V cigars, it was made at their Tabelosa factory in Esteli, Nicaragua.
It's really hard to go wrong with Oliva.
And this last one, I just have to say, it will test my sense of collegiate loyalty as a longtime Texas Longhorn. That's the University of Texas in Austin. This may be tough for me. To make matters worse, my brother is a graduate of rival college Texas A&M, so he will be relentless in his critique of me if I try one of the latest cigars released this year. It is an officially licensed Texas A&M themed cigar made by the boutique cigar maker Bocock Brothers, and they're releasing 2 core releases, the Aggie Maroon and the Aggie White Label. So
What a maroon.
maybe I should buy one of these for Ian and have him review it on the show. Would that keep me loyal to my Longhorns?
There you go.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Because
do
I have
that.
no affiliates with those schools.
All right, we'll be back with hour 2 of the show. Drinking News is on the way. We still have to tell you all about how to spot fake Cuban cigars, and as if that weren't enough, the best pumpkin beers of 2025 coming next to Smoking and Toasting. Welcome back. It is Smoking and Toasting. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. While Ian is opening a fine spirit, or at least we certainly hope it's going to be. It's a Templeton Rye single barrel pick from Specs. We're going to be tasting that in this segment.
You know what's wrong with Templeton Rye?
Yeah?
Nothing.
Well,
Templeton Rye is fine.
We'll find out shortly, I think.
Also,
this is going to be a good one.
Their logo is like the good stuff.
Yeah, I know. You got to love that. It's like, let's don't make this complicated.
It does
Whiskey.
make the bottles look a little cheesy when it says the good stuff.
Whiskey good.
Whiskey good.
We are going to be tasting a pumpkin beer. I don't think it was one of the award winners, but we'll be tasting a pumpkin stout on today's program from our friends at Martin House Brewing in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But the World Beer Cup recently named the best pumpkin beers of 2025.
Oh.
And I just thought I'd share these with you. The bronze went to Pumpkin Ale from Beer Brewery and Tap Room in Indianapolis.
Well, they didn't work hard on their name.
Yeah, no. A little harder for the silver. They did Pumpkin Spice J. Marie. That's from River North Brewing in Denver. And then finally the gold, and here they really worked on the name, from Grand Junction Brewing Company in Westfield, Indiana. So 2 Indiana breweries taking both the bronze and the gold. These guys won the gold with Not Your Grandma's Pumpkin Ale.
Those Indiana boys on the Indiana night.
That's right.
Now I have that song in my head. And
Blew
it's
us
just
away.
gonna live there.
It was more than they'd seen. And then there was also the U.S. Open Beer Championship, where brewers and other beverage producers submitted more than 8,000 liquid concoctions in this year's Open Beer Championship held in Oxford, Ohio. The bronze for Pumpkin Ale.
Oxford, Ohio is a little different than Oxford, England.
Yes, it is. just a tiny bit. The bronze went to Jack of the Lantern from 9 State Brewery in Inverness, Florida.
That's a fun name.
The silver went to Pumpkin Spice J. Marie, the same one that won the silver award in the other one from River North Brewing Company. And the gold went to Pumpkin Ale. Again, worked really hard on the naming. But that's from 2 Silos Brewing Company in Manassas,
So it's a
Virginia.
different pumpkin ale.
And then finally, the International Beer and Cider Awards, which took place in June in Idaho Falls. They gave the bronze to Barrel-Aged Imperial Pumpkin Porter from Epic Brewing Company,
Nice.
Salt Lake City, Utah. That sounds like something I really want to taste.
Yeah.
The silver went to the brewery from Mountain Home, Indiana, Mountain Home, Idaho, called Blue Pit Brewing, and their pumpkin beer is just called Corgi.
Corgi?
Like the dog,
Oh.
Corgi.
Okay.
And then finally, the gold went to Phillipsburg Brewing Company from Phillipsburg, Montana, and it is called Five Phantoms. That's the name of their.
Five Phantoms sounds cool.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't sound
alliterates
pumpkin-y.
very nice.
It doesn't sound pumpkin-y, but it sounds nice. Five
Sounds
Phantoms.
Halloween.
It alliterates
Yeah,
awesomely.
there you go.
Yeah,
Sounds
sounds
very,
Halloween-y.
very Halloween-y. So, Templeton Rye in a 100 proof bottle of goodness here, or at least
The
I'm thinking
nose
it's
is
goodness.
amazing.
This is a barrel pick from Specs. It's a single barrel.
Okay, I'm going to point out, coming in at 50%
Yeah.
by volume, this drink's so incredibly gentle.
Really?
Like, just like the nose is wonderful and spicy. You take a sip and it's
Ooh.
buttery smooth
Buttery smooth, and yet all of that rye
and spice.
spice complexity is there as well. But you're right, it is extremely smooth, and I'm already thinking this would go with a lot of cigars. Mm-hmm. You know, this would just pair really, really nicely.
This would be like, it'd be hard to find a cigar that doesn't go well with this.
Now, we've had Templeton Rye on the show before. I think it was just their normal rye,
yeah.
which is
Which is good.
40 proof, right?
Yes. And it's a good
And this is 50?
it's a good baseline where this is one of the
It's 50%, it's
Specs
100 proof.
barrel picks.
Okay.
So it's a single
Not bottle
barrel.
and bond, though.
No, but
And it's quite good.
Yeah.
Like this is so different from the regular
Templeton Rye.
You know, and it's the same juice. This just happens to be one specific barrel of it. But this is fantastic. The bubble gum that blossoms from this on the retrohale, the sweet butteriness of it in the middle of the palate, the spice that happens, and a little bit of heat that comes back at you as a really comfortable whiskey hug from behind. It's not awkward at all.
Speaking of awkward, did you just pass me a note that said Alan says that he loves me? What did
He
that
thinks
say?
you're cute.
He thinks I'm cute. Oh, okay. Well, he's pretty cute himself. This is for those of you who don't know what we're talking about. Alan Denny is a friend of the show. He likes to pod crash. It's been a while since he did it.
It's been a little while since he's been on.
He's done it a number of times, but he's very good with his knowledge on whiskey and on cigars and some other things.
Yes,
and,
he has an incredible knowledge of both of those things.
and craft beer as well. So I have a feeling he would really dig this Templeton Rye.
This is a beautiful rye. It's really, really nice. And what's super nice about it too is after you take a sip, like I'm just sitting here talking, but I'm still enjoying like the
after effects. The
little whiskey hug that comes up and the sweet. There's almost a sweet burnt caramel kind of
Yes, almost a little bit of
aftertaste left on the palate.
like a creme brulee burnt caramel,
like that crispy
almost.
little top part.
I would just say that this is. I mean, you will probably need to be in Texas to be able to find this because it's a Spec's barrel pick. But I have no doubt that you can find other single barrel Templeton Ryes in other places that have maybe been, and maybe they were even a barrel pick of your spirit destination.
Now, a lot of you out there probably know what a barrel pick is, but for the few of you that don't, I mean, a barrel pick is basically a company coming in. The companies like Templeton, like Jack Daniels, like Jim Beam, all these companies put barrels aside,
right?
That they think are kind of exceptional, and then they allow companies like Specs to come in.
Specs is a major beverage retailer,
right? Like
in
a
the
Total
Texas
Wine,
area,
or
if you don't know,
those kind of things. But they allow a company like this to come in and try samples from these barrels, and then they pick a barrel, and then they have that bottle, and they sell it at their stores exclusively.
Here's what I want you to contemplate: there is a person who, in this case, ostensibly works for Specs, and their job is to go to these different distilleries and try these barrels that have been set aside.
Yeah, because they have a lot of barrel picks.
That's their job.
They have a lot of barrels, so that really would take some time.
I mean, if you are like out there, like actually doing labor,
Job Corps never prepared me for that.
yeah, you got to be really upset with these people and what they're getting away with doing as a job and getting paid for.
Why didn't
to
they
fly
have
around
that?
and sample
Yeah.
barrel picks?
Yeah.
Why didn't they have that in college or tech school?
Yeah.
I went to a number of career
Whiskey
days
tech.
when I was in school, and I don't recall whiskey single barrel
Whiskey
taster
tech, he
being
said
on
it.
any of it.
Whiskey Tech.
Let's start it.
Dude, that
would've been there.
That's right.
That would be a huge online opportunity. That would last at least twice as long as Trump University, don't you think?
Was that a real thing?
Yeah. Well, I don't know that it was a real thing, but it existed.
a thing
It
that
was a
existed,
thing
yeah.
that existed. Yeah.
Wow.
I think they wound up getting sued and going out of business. But yeah, I figure if that can come online and be a thing,
Absolutely.
Whiskey Tech.
Whiskey Tech.
Whiskey Tech. I can already see the logo, the W with the T in
Yeah.
it. And it
Oh,
would be
yeah,
like,
WT.
you can see
Yeah.
the football team would be like completely disorganized. You know, they'd be like,
The Whiskey Tech.
so Whiskey Tech loses again this week, and
Whiskey
they just
Tech
don't
buzzers.
seem to care. Yeah,
The cheerleaders could be the Whiskey Sours.
yeah, I love it. It's perfect. It's perfect. I got to tell you, this is fantastic.
It's really good.
This is a wonderful bottle of rye, and I almost
The
think
more sips of this I take, too, the more I like you. I mean, the whiskey.
I get it. If you keep on drinking, you're going to wind up liking Alan Danny by the end of the show. So no, I will just say I really am a fan of ryes. I almost feel like it's my favorite expression of whiskey because I just appreciate the spice.
I love ryes. My wife, absolutely, that's her favorite. Like, I can't bring a rye in the house without it disappearing sometimes very quickly.
Yeah.
Like Whistle Pig, I mean, like, I may not even get a sip.
Yeah, I'm not well off enough to buy Whistle Pig, but I clearly when you splurge on a bottle, that makes her pretty happy.
It's easy. You just make the 6 months worth of payments.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can I go to Specs and put a bottle of Whistle Pig on layaway? Remember layaway?
Layaway was great.
They would take whatever it was you wanted to buy and they'd put it in a room in the back.
Like Kmart.
And then
Walmart.
you'd come in like once a month and make a payment on it. And when you finally paid it off, you could get your bottle of whiskey or whatever it was. I wanted to start a layaway beverage company where we sell everything.
Layaway beverage
Layaway.
company.
Yeah.
Only
And-
high-end beverages.
And the rule will be that if you default on your layaway, like if you wait too long to pay it off, we get to drink
get
your
to
whiskey.
drink it,
yes.
It's like, oh, look at this! This guy didn't pay off his Templeton rye.
I like that. I like the way y'all do that business model because most people would just be like, "Oh, they didn't pay it off, so we sold it to someone else." But instead,
we gotta drink it.
no, we just need to drink it.
Because we're invested now.
You know how I know this is a good business model? Because I sketched it out on a napkin. That's how all good business models begin, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
This is delicious. Like I would put this up against just about any rye I've ever had, including the Whistle Pigs.
This is good.
Very
this
good.
Is darn good rye.
And this is.
And here's
I want
the
to say
thing.
it's about a $60 bottle. So
Yeah,
it's
and
not,
here's the thing. Like, if you like this one, you're going to have to buy more of it right away because this barrel doesn't exist anymore.
right. Now, but here's what I love about these barrel picks, and it's why I don't mind. We make fun of our buddy Chris Hart because every time he comes on the show, he brings on these delicious whiskeys that no one can find or buy anywhere. But the thing about a whiskey like this is we can tell you like what we're tasting here and what it seems like. You can find other whiskeys, other barrel picks that are going to be similar in nature and probably equally as outstanding as this if you kind of know what to look for. When you're in the Whiskey Islet specs, they've always got little things hanging there that tell you what some of the specs barrel picks are.
Yeah, and I think if you're in a
other
specs
places
that doesn't have it, they can get it for you. So
right.
Well,
if it's
so
one of their,
but we're talking about specs. But
Specs.
even if you're in a place where you don't have specs, because
Sure.
I think specs is pretty much Texas.
they're Texas
Centric, yeah.
exclusive. Yeah.
Texas exclusive. But if you find a Total Wine does this all the time. Although careful of Total Wine, because Total Wine will sell you their house brands.
Yes.
And they're very adamant about that. Now some of them aren't bad. Don't get me wrong, but if you're looking for a barrel pick, you'll find Total Wine barrel picks. You'll also find some of your local stores. We have a chain here called Zips, and Zips has barrel picks. And they're a small, when you walk in, it always feels like a little mom and pop store because I don't think it's much bigger than that.
And
But-
I think even some of the mom and pops do these.
Yeah,
barrel
they'll do
picks
barrel
because
picks from time to
they're
time,
kind
too.
of known as being a place for whiskey aficionados to go.
Right.
And so it makes sense for the companies to do the barrel picks with them. And it might take a Zips or a smaller place a little longer to sell out, but if you discover something there you like, that can play to your advantage.
And also
because you can get
understand that
for
it is
longer.
going to be different from the standard version of that.
Right.
And it could be drastically different, or it could be similar with a little twist.
I would call this one similar with a wonderful twist
This
to the
is
other
really,
Templeton rye.
really good.
Yeah.
Yes, this is really, really good. And what's funny is it's coming in 10% more on a proof. Mm-hmm. So it's coming in way hot, but it doesn't drink it at all. It just does not. We're drinking it neat right now, and it's coming in.
I would be interested to see what this is like with a drop of water. Maybe we'll try that before the show.
There's about
over.
a 50-50 that it might actually heat it up too.
Oh, very interesting.
That's
All
funny, right?
Well, we will be trying that for sure.
Oh,
It's
he's got
Smoking and
water over
Toasting.
there.
Terry's already got water. We're moving in that direction, and Drinking News is not far away, my friends. Stand by. Welcome back. It is Smoking and Toasting. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. So we were talking about Templeton Rye during the break, and I was mentioning the Templeman that I know best is Ted Templeman, who's a record producer, has worked with the Doobie Brothers and Van Halen and Van Morrison. So, yeah, nobody really big or important.
Nobody knows those bands.
He produced multiple critically acclaimed and commercially successful albums for each of these. And then there's Theodore Templeton Jr., who is apparently from the movie Boss Baby. So I don't know if you've seen.
Oh yes, of course I know Boss Baby.
You know-
That's right.
well,
Templeton.
see-
That's the one I was talking about. You told me.
Leave it to Terry, to know about these.
The
'cause
Boss
you
Baby
had-
is amazing because it's Alec Baldwin and he's
Right.
the
Alec
baby.
Baldwin voices
he is
Theodore
the Boss
Templeton
Baby.
Jr.,
Yes, he
yeah.
is the Boss
Yeah.
Baby, and so
Alec
that
Baldwin has the perfect voice for something like that, doesn't
It
he?
is. It's wonderful.
he's,
It's a wonderful movie.
I just want to point out, I bet you are absolute murder when it comes to pop culture.
Trivial
Yeah,
Pursuit.
Trivial Pursuit. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like I say, the Templeton that I thought of was Templeton Peck, which is the name for face on the 18.
Oh, see, yeah,
that
so-
was his show name. Yeah.
I was just going to say, there is no other cigar, spirits, and craft beer show where you're going to get this kind of cultural cross-referencing.
That's
I'm
right.
just saying, we are unique in
That's
that way, which may explain why we don't have more affiliates than we do. But we're
getting there.
We're unique in that way. We are
We're
unique in
getting
that
there.
way. Oh,
Top
man.
40 meets cigars.
That's right. That's right. or something. So Ted Templeton. Yeah, there we go.
That's the Templeton it was bothering me so much, and you nailed it.
This Templeton rye, I got to tell you, just Ian poured a little bit, just a little drop of water in this, and now this has opened up. I'm getting more bubble gum.
It's a cinnamon bubble gum.
A little
bomb.
less spice, but the cinnamon comes in to kind of like
The heat
replace.
happens a little bit faster. It did heat it up a little bit too.
I don't know. See, it heated it up like at the beginning
very-
to me,
at the
but
outset,
then
yeah.
it seemed like it's not as hot. After
the
after
whiskey
the-
hug is not quite as fierce.
So the whiskey, but there's just a tiny bit of heat right at the swallow, right at the finish.
Yes. It seemed like it's not as hot going down though.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm noticing.
It's really good. This is a fantastic pick.
Yeah.
The water made it
And
amazing.
again-
I'm glad you brought this to me.
Again, as long as we can, get squared away on the $40 you owe me for cigars, I'm happy to let you have as much of that as you like.
That's what cash will do to you these days.
Yeah, that's right.
So we split a bundle of cigars, and apparently I gave him money for it already. And
Literally,
so
we
when he
watched
said,
you
"Hey,
do it that day.
He said, "Hey, the cigars are in." I was like, "How much money do I owe you?"
Yeah, and foolishly I said, "Oh, you already gave me cash."
I just always assume that I owe everybody something.
And then I retracted that and said, $40. So it's interesting because the cigars that we got were some cigars from Cigar Page, which both of us have ordered from before, and they are purporting to be Oliva rounds, and the idea is that these were accidentally rolled as rounds and could not be shaped into box press cigars, which would mean that they were very possibly supposed to be Oliva Serie V or Serie V Milanios, because those are box pressed, but the same tobacco mix, but in a round cigar.
But
So-
Fred at the factory messed up.
That's right. It's exactly like that. So
and
so
then
what
we're
I
passing the savings on
what
to
I wanted
you.
to do, and they were not expensive. It was $80 for 20 cigars.
Which those Serie V are not cheap.
Which is
That
why I owe you 40.
Yeah.
Which is why you owe me 40,
And,
right? Because
and
we
that
split.
was how many? That was a full box?
See, I brought. Yeah, well, it was a Mazzo. It was they were wrapped in cellophane. So,
Okay.
So it was a Mazzo, no box. But I brought Ian his 10, and so next week each of us are going to smoke and review one of these, and we'll see. Okay, at $4.
Yeah.
Is this a
let's talk-
Milanio Serie V, or is it something else, and is it worth
You
it?
had the article about the Cuban cigars.
Yes. How to spot fake
How to
Cubans.
spot fake Cubans. And I want to point out, like, looking at these here, the coloring on these cigars are incredibly even across cigars, okay? And I don't know what your article says about the fake Cubans, but I know that every single time I've seen a real Cuban Cohiba or a box of real Cuban Cohibas, or Partagas, or any
Sure,
of the
Bolivar,
classic,
Punch, or whatever. Yeah.
right, Cuban brands, every time I see them, the color from cigar to cigar in the box is absolutely uniform.
So when you get, so that's one thing to look for in a box of fakes.
Absolutely
is if
uniform.
the cigar leaf color is different from cigar to cigar.
When I walked into the cigar place in Costa Maya, now Costa Maya is a terrible place. We were on a cruise.
Don't hold back.
We walked into Costa
Tell
Maya.
us how you
Costa
really
Maya is
feel.
literally built to suck money out of you.
Yeah.
It's there's nothing there except for places to suck money out of you because it's just a tourist trap.
Right.
And this was on a cruise. So we walked into the cigar shop, and Alan Denny was with me. And this is the Alan Denny show, by the way, apparently.
Yeah.
And he's with me, and the guy goes, "Hey, do you guys like Cubans?" And we both responded, "Yes, we absolutely love Cubans." And he goes, "Well, I have a bunch of them." And Alan just goes, "Well, I don't see any of them." Looking at the walls, he goes, "There's no." It was so obvious and easy to spot. These were super not Cubans.
Yeah. Well, the first like sub headline in this article, which by the way is from Cigar Aficionado, 8 things to know about counterfeit Cuban cigars. The first sub headline: there are no cheap Cohibas.
There's that.
There are only expensive cohibas and very expensive cohibas. With the latest in price increases, many cohibas now sell for close to $100 for a single cigar, and some limited versions for $300, $500, or even more for a single cigar. If you find a bargain cohiba, it's a fake cohiba. So
I mean, this guy had a box of Cohiba that he was selling for only like $200.
Yeah, there you go. That and I love one of these other sub-headlines. No, that guy doesn't have a cousin who works in the factory. Yeah, that's.
He's my cousin.
I can just give you the sub-headlines on this, and that works. Labels go on the box, not in the box. Pass on glass, which means there are no glass top or clear plastic boxes that contain genuine Cuban cigars. And then beware the bogus bejique. Cohiba bejiques are a prime target for counterfeiters. And avoid the barber pole. They say barber pole cigars, which are made of intertwined wrappers of different colors, are items from the non-Cuban cigar world. Real Cuban cigars don't come with barber poles. So
also
there you go.
the fuzzy labels.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you can't really read Cohiba because it's kind of fuzzed out, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's some very obvious things.
All right, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. Drinking News is next, by the way. It is Smoking and Toasting. Uh-huh. Welcome back. It's Smoking and Toasting. Our show is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars.
That groovy song.
In the fine spirits category, we are really enjoying a Templeton Rye barrel pick, which is it's a Specs barrel pick. But if you're in a place where there isn't a Specs, I just want to encourage you, check out the barrel picks in your area because they often are spectacular in the way that this one is. It's
Listen,
fantastic.
I have some go-to spirits and cigars, but to be honest, and beers. I love variety, though. I'm not the person that goes and buys the same beer every time I'm going to drink beer. I buy a variety of beers too, and I'm the same way with when it comes to whiskey. There's a lot of whiskeys that I dearly love, but I want flavor. I want
exactly.
I want fun, and I love.
Give me something.
Like if I see something that I'm gonna buy anyway, like a Templeton, and then I see a barrel pick, I'm going in. I just want to try it because I want it to be different. I want it to try something outside of it.
If you want a wonderful combination of bubblegum and spice, I can't recommend this higher.
This is really good.
Yeah, it really is. And
by
by the way,
the mineral water aftertaste too, that is just delightful.
And I want to say you don't have to necessarily spend $100 for a single barrel pick. This one I think was in the $50 range if I remember correctly. So pretty outstanding. Pretty outstanding.
So much sweetness, and there's a little bit of maple syrup in there. There's and cinnamon.
And it's just so good. And so we move from the sublime to the ridiculous because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Drinking News.
Drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news. A Florida man with one arm said he had a gator for a pet. When asked about his absent arm, he said,
I had to take my gator to the vet.
Drinking news. Now it's time for drinking news. I'm glad I waited for the giggle.
Yeah, the giggle is the best part of that whole thing. The lovely Brianna. That's Adam in the sky. That's his wife. And my daughter-in-law, and she's awesome. And by the way, just had a baby, little AJ.
Yeah, congratulations, Gramps.
Awesome.
How's the baby doing?
He's doing great, and I'm going to see him for Christmas. So
that's good.
So psyched.
Good.
I'm so psyched. So I'll be checking out breweries and distilleries in the D.C. area under the guise of, I'm here to see the baby.
Yeah, I'm here to see the baby.
I'm here to see the baby, but also there's research that has to be done. There's
That's
work.
right. I have a show.
Yes.
Come on. You got to give me what you got to give me. It's time for Drinking News. Drinking News is the segment of the program where we bring you a story from the news that may or may not be about drinking, but is always best enjoyed if you've been drinking. And before we get to today's main story on Drinking News, we first take a detour to our ultra very most extreme favoritist drinking news state, and that, of course, is Florida, where a bizarre altercation led to the arrest of 48-year-old Crystal Watts, a Florida woman, at the OCC Roadhouse Bar in Clearwater.
A lady named Crystal at a Roadhouse bar.
That's right.
That's
wow. You can already picture this, right?
And when interviewed, "Hi, Crystal," she said, "Hey, how you doing?"
Ms. Watts was arrested for battery and was taken to jail before being freed on a $1,000 bond after she allegedly assaulted 33-year-old Jesse Hammock, a Florida man, with, wait for it, silly string.
Nice.
According to police reports, Crystal confronted the victim and allegedly sprayed him down with the sticky substance until the can was empty, and then threw the silly string can at the Florida man, striking him in the forehead and causing a laceration.
Oh, dude, see, you can't do that.
Yeah,
That's what you can't do.
You got to just do the silly
Party
string.
foul.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
exactly.
it's battery.
Yeah, that's right.
You could have been just left with assault, but now you have battery.
What's really interesting about this case is that the phone number that the Florida woman listed on the police report was found by the Smoking Gun website to be listed on an escort website, along with non-safe for works explicit photos of Ms. Watts, who on the website goes by the name Taylor.
Florida Escort Services.
The latest post on the Florida woman's website page says that she is, quote, back in the saddle and ready to ride, end
I'm
quote.
back in the saddle and ready to ride, honey.
I'm sure there's no pun intended there. So, you know, maybe this
I'm
wasn't.
sorry, she has, in my mind, she has a cigarette hanging out of her mouth with a really long ash, too.
The daytime hooker.
she's
Is she Patty or Thelma?
Patty.
she's not on. She hasn't been on the A-team for a while.
So maybe I'm thinking this maybe wasn't an attack at all. Maybe Jesse Hammock can only get his jollies if he's sprayed down with pink foam string before the festivities begin.
Don't kink shame me.
The world may never know. But our main story on today's segment actually takes us back to the rich drinking news year of 2024, where there were so many stories worthy of this segment that there was just no way we could report them all. And with that in mind, I'd like to revisit 2024 with a story from last year that may have slipped through the cracks.
How did we miss one?
Literally. It seems an Ohio man dressed appropriately in leopard print pajamas broke into a Petland store and decided that not only would he take a few living creatures for himself, but that he should also probably set some of these caged animals free.
When you said dressed appropriately in leopard print pajamas, I was really confused until you said the last few sentences.
Yeah, there's a point.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a point, and I'll get to it. The Ohio man, whose name was, and I am not making this up, Matthew Pancake, apparently let around 15 animals loose, including birds.
Wait a second. How do you get the last name Pancake?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess
I get it. I get it if your name was changed while you were coming over for like Ellis Island thing, like that happened. You got some Americanized names and things like that.
Well, apparently in this
But apparently
case,
this guy's family's name was so jacked up they were like, "You're Pancake, buddy."
yeah. In this case, Mr. and Mrs. Pancake had sex, and Matthew was born. But anyway, he apparently let around 15 animals loose in this pet store, including birds, puppies, and at least 2 bunny rabbits. Police responded to the store.
I'm glad you didn't say bees, because if there were birds and bees involved, I'd be confused.
I just like saying bunny rabbits. That's just
Bunny.
it's a fun thing to say.
Bunny.
Police responded to the store in response to security alarms and were immediately greeted by a puppy running loose in the parking lot. Security footage showed Mr. Pancake
buddy.
smashing cages open inside the store to free the animals, interacting with them, and then fleeing the store.
You're free.
You know, if his name was Mr. Free Dogs or Free Animals, that would be one thing. But
Yeah.
this guy should be at an IHOP freeing some pancakes.
Officers Officers soon located Pancake, and I just can't say his name enough. Still clad in his leopard print nightie, sleeping outside a nearby Big Lot store. You know, as one does.
You know, it's a hard evening of freeing animals.
Yeah,
you get
you're tired after that, right? So don't go home. Just lay down here and sleep by the Big Lots.
The fugitive had broken glass and a dog collar
Snuggle
on
up
his
with the
person.
exclamation point, because I'm not sure why it's there.
The fugitive had broken glass and a dog collar on his person when the cops apprehended him, but they quickly discovered that was not all.
No?
According to the arresting officers,
Was he wearing the dog collar?
Pancake also had 4 gerbils in
Oh, don't tell me where he
his
kept them.
He was.
pants.
Pant gerbils?
In his pants. We got the gerbil bandit, one officer reported, while another described the situation by saying, "This has got to be animal abuse."
Just ask Richard Gere. No, just
Now, it might surprise you that a story of
What's
this
it
type...
got in its pocket?
It might surprise you that a story of this type would stir inspiration in someone like me, a lowly drinking news host. But I must confess that this one, like many of the stories that we do here on the program, has in fact left me quite inspired. And as regular listeners of our show probably already know, to their great consternation, when I get inspired, I like to express myself. You know, I like to express myself by, writing down a few verses of poetry or prose. And that has definitely been the case today, and with your permission, or without it, frankly, I'd like to share my little sonnet with you now. You're already giving me the poetry reading music, which I appreciate.
I got you, man.
So it goes
I got you.
a little something like this. An Ohio man with motives unclear freed some animals from a pet store last year. Then, with gerbils in his pants, he told cops that it wasn't by chance. "You can't arrest me," he said. "I'm Richard Gere."
Yes!
Reporting live from Columbus, Ohio, where I guess we should be happy it was gerbils and not a long snake. My name is Cruz, and that is your...
Drinking news, drinking news. That's our time for drinking news.
Cheers, y'all. I like to point out how excited Terry was that we got to the Richard Gere reference.
He's been waiting.
He's been waiting
for that since you said gerbil.
The whole story, he's been waiting for a Richard Gere reference.
The jubilation was real.
Oh my God! Do you realize there are affiliates we have on the radio right now who took this show because my listeners would like a show about cigars and spirits and craft beer.
We broke them.
And now they're like, "What have I signed up for? What is this? Oh my God!"
I mean, it's not like they didn't talk enough about Nicolas Cage.
Right. Exactly right. I will admit, and I apologize for this, but the show has been, fraughtfully short on Nicolas Cage news of late.
We haven't talked about him much.
Yeah.
We did a lot after he put out that the unbearable weight of massive talent.
Because that was one of the most amazing movies of all time.
So amazing.
Honestly, as much as we have made fun of Nicolas Cage, that's one of my favorite movies ever.
It's brilliant.
Ever.
Yes.
You remember when Being John Malkovich came out?
Yeah,
we were all
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
blown away.
Yeah.
This is like a next level one of those.
Yeah, it really is.
I have found on, I think it was Facebook or something, which seems to be serving me the most useless stuff lately that's all AI. But there's this one page that is amazing because they take the fact that Face Off was a thing, and they always show
John
these
Travolta
pictures
movie?
they always show pictures of John Travolta and they show pictures of Nicolas Cage, but they always call them the other name. They always this is John Travolta with Eminem or something like that. And then to watch the comments just go nuts with everyone, that's not John Travolta, that's Nicolas Cage. And then the people under it to be like, this is a joke, it's from Face Off. And it's amazing.
I just
Dude, when
love
you
this.
have to stop and explain the joke joke, it's even funnier.
That's right.
At least to me.
And see, a lot of people think that when you have to explain the joke, it's dead.
Not, yeah.
Oh no, it's not as funny to the person you explain it to, but to me, it's even more
It's
funny.
even funnier.
See,
Yeah.
Thank you. That's exactly how I feel
It's
about
all comments, and it's about the comments of those.
it. When Ian and I first met, and I always have to thank my wife because she's the one that introduced me to Ian, and we've become really good friends over the years, despite what I may say about him on the show.
True.
But the reality is that when we first met, we were kind of like connected by our love for several things: cigars, craft beer, fine spirits, and the belief that a joke is funnier the more times you tell it.
Oh, 100%.
And we both have kind of like embraced that philosophy. And I don't want to go so far as to say it served us well, but it has at least given us common ground.
It's done stuff.
It's
done stuff.
Well, I mean,
I love that it's
a lot
done
of people
stuff.
misunderstand the statement, though, because when I say a joke is funnier the more times I tell it, it may not be funnier to you, but it's damn sure funnier to me.
It's like a dad joke. When I say something repeatedly to my kids, they're like, "Dad, that's not funny." It's like, yeah, but it really is. To
Yeah,
me.
but it's
I'm
getting
enjoying
funnier.
it every
Yeah.
time. Every time.
so
getting funnier.
how many Terry, just out of curiosity, is there ever a time when a dad joke like lands with the kids?
I mean, yeah. Sometimes it does. They get it.
And your kids are what, like high school age?
Yeah,
right?
high school, freshman and junior, yeah. So it's every once in a while you get, and that's when it's worth it. You tell 1,000 to get that one.
So I will just
To land the one.
So I will just say, from about the time I was in junior high school, all the way through college, my dad's dad jokes landed 0% of the time. 0. Right? But here's what's crazy. As I've become older, some of them have started to land a little bit.
They got funnier.
And I think this says more, and not necessarily good, about me than it does about my father. I mean, thankfully, my father's still with us. His jokes have not improved, but somehow my tolerance for them has. And
that's
I don't know that this says a good thing about me at all.
I gotta say, my dad had a beautiful dryness to his jokes, and we'll have to talk about that later when I explain why men snore.
Okay. I can't wait for this. Plus, we have a final beer to check out here on the show, and it is a stout, a Martin House Brewing Company Super Smash Pumpkin Stout. As we get into this,
That's a lot of
fall
syllables in that beer
holiday
name. It's
spirit.
got to be good.
I love it. I'm looking forward to it. It's Smoking and Toasting.
It's so good. You know what? I think I might like it better without the water.
Oh, the whiskey? Fascinating. All right.
It's both good both ways, though.
Welcome back. We are Smoking and Toasting. Our program is all about craft beer, fine spirits, and hand-rolled cigars. One of the fine spirits we like to talk about is whiskey. We're talking about a Templeton rye here, and Ian just admitted he may like this better without the water.
It's so good with the water. It becomes that cinnamon bubblegum bomb, but without the water, it's buttery. It's got this silky kind of mouthfeel to it that is just so good. Like, I don't know. It's two very different
here's
flavors.
what's a wonderful thing. You can buy a bottle of this whiskey for around $50 and have essentially two completely different flavor experiences.
I would love to try this with one chip of ice. And when I say chip of ice, I'm not talking about a big fancy
You're talking about making
square.
a cocktail.
Yes, I'm talking about turning it into a cocktail and putting a piece of ice into it.
Yeah.
And I don't use straws because then I'll drink my cocktail too fast. But I'm talking about like a piece, like a chip of ice. Like if you have the home like ice trays that you break the ice tray, you got to find that one chip that's not a full ice piece, right?
Yeah.
Drop it in there, and then try it almost immediately. And that's going to be your cold flavor. And then you just sit there and you let it swirl.
And let it
and you
warm up a
try
little
it
bit.
as it dilutes and as it gets more and more diluted. Because it's going to keep changing flavors. I love that ride.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a beautiful experience.
Couldn't agree with you more. And I'm really enjoying this both ways,
Depending
actually.
on how much you pour, you might need a whole chip of ice.
Yeah. And I appreciate the pour that you just gave me because it was rather generous. Thank you,
Yes, sir.
It
Yes.
was a pre-meeting pour.
It was a
Pre-meeting pour.
For those who don't know,
Because we're going to talk about chairs this meeting.
I have to go host a company meeting after this, after we record this, and I am very often in a, let's just say, post-smoking and toasting frame of mind. Billy
I'm
Joel,
the only one that knows how much you really had during the show.
Billy Joel called it a New York frame of mind.
New
I
York
call it
state
a
of
post-S&T frame of mind.
Bottle of red, bottle of white.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I just want to mention, because now is the time to act on this if you're interested. The whiskey advent calendars are beginning to come out.
Yes.
Oh,
and
really?
if you want
And
them,
don't forget there's cigar advent calendars.
yes,
too.
there are.
Wow.
If you want the whiskey advent calendars, you need to move quickly because they have a tendency to sell out. Talking specifically about the Flaviar Whiskey Advent Calendar 2025, which is $260 at Flaviar online. And it's a pretty exciting Advent calendar this year. They have a different theme every year. Last year it was Hotel Flaviar, a made-up luxury hotel where each Advent day offered a chance to holiday in countries around the world. This year the theme is Flaviar Airlines, where, you guessed it, you get to fly to different corners of the world to taste whiskey. So what's great, you know what Advent calendars are, right? You
Sure.
open up a door
Yeah.
and every
I'm Catholic.
day as you count down to Christmas, right? And so in this case, you open up the door and there's a little taster bottle of whiskey in there.
And so they're just from everywhere. Flaviar is not like a brand. It's
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
just
no,
getting
it-
They have a
from
little
everywhere.
taster bottle of whiskey for every day.
With the set comes a tasting passport, which
I'm
starts by
just going
giving
to point
whiskey
out
tasting
that's
instructions.
30 shots of whiskey.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you start it
I
30
think
days out from
is
Christmas.
it 30 days or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it full 30 days
Yeah.
or 25? Okay,
Yeah, I believe it's 30. And whatever your favorite type of whiskey, they say, I'm pretty confident that if you buy a ticket for this flight, you'll enter 2026 with a much deeper knowledge of the whiskeys of the world, as well as some new favorite distilleries and regions to
So what do you get, like a little airline bottle of it or something
Yeah,
like that?
that's exactly what
Okay.
it is. Every door you open has one of those little
But one of
airline
them-
bottle sizes of whiskey.
Does one of them, are you saying one of them gives you a flight? like,
Is there
like-
a Labubu involved in this?
is there like a prize there? What's going on?
I love the whole concept, though, of every day being a different whiskey.
Yes, yes.
Well, you know
That's
they
just
have also advent calendars for cigars too. So like,
Wow.
if you happen to have this and that,
Wow.
It'd be
man,
interesting
What
to
a
see.
happy holiday season it would
It'd be
be.
interesting to see which days like sync up, like where the whiskey is a great pairing with the cigar that day. Right?
well, you know the beautiful thing about that is that whiskey and cigars pair.
They do
Like,
more often than not, right?
yeah, it's very rare to find a whiskey and a cigar pairing that don't do well, but there are definitely better.
But if you had a
Pairings.
cigar advent calendar, that would mean that in the days counting down to Christmas, you'd be smoking a different cigar every day.
Every day.
I mean, that breaks my heart.
Yeah, that's really tough, huh? Really tough to figure out.
Well,
Did I
hard for
mention
y'all
this
to
is
figure
one of the
that out.
toughest jobs I've had?
Yeah, it is, and I understand how you struggle with it. So, all right, thoughts about what we have tasted today, and we only got a couple minutes left
Oh.
here to taste this.
I totally forgot about
Oh,
this.
wow. We
this
forgot. We
delicious
were
stout, yeah.
so
Dude,
like into
we're
this
so much
ride.
into this whiskey.
Seriously.
Right.
I don't think we've been this much into a
Pumpkin
a
ale. Here it goes.
spirit.
3, 2, 1.
Well, so we got to talk about pumpkin ale, and in this case, a pumpkin stout, because we have officially arrived in October. This is Halloween and Thanksgiving time, and we still do in my house. We still do the pumpkin stuff at Christmas time
this
too.
this smells like beef jerky and pumpkin.
Is that good or bad?
It's not bad. I mean, I like both of those things very much.
I do like beef jerky, and
but
I
it
do
smells like
pumpkin.
beef jerky and pumpkin.
Okay, so what about the taste?
Oh, it's actually really wow. Okay, it's really nice.
The Martin House people really know what they're doing. They are out of Fort Worth, Texas. This is a 10% ABV.
The
And it is
aftertaste.
super complex.
The aftertaste is beef jerky and pumpkin. Like it has a beef jerky. Like I just chewed up, and now my jaw hurts a little bit while I'm driving from here to Austin. Kind of beef jerkiness to it.
That's because
There's
you
a
can
little-
stop and get amazing beef
Stopped
jerky
at
between
Buc-ee's.
here and Austin.
Yes.
Yeah. Buc-ee's, by the way, their beef jerky is awesome.
I love
Oh
Buc-ee's.
yeah, absolutely. Buc-ee's, and then if you're heading north to like Dallas, you got Centerville, and Centerville Woody's Smokehouse jerky might be one of the best.
Oh, dude, you got to go back to the whiskey
Oh really?
after trying this Martin House Super Smash Pumpkin Stout.
Oh, it turns this into like a silky, like ridiculously like buttery. There's almost a little kiss of orange peel, not orange peel, like that orange, candied orange, almost in there. Oh my goodness!
And then when you go back to the beer, I don't know that it does the beer a lot of favors when you go back to it. But boy, going from the beer to the rye.
No, we washed out the beer. It just turns the beer into coffee.
Yeah, right. The beer is basically just coffee. But going from the beer to the rye,
Yeah.
it's good stuff. All right, this is why we do this. We love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to and enjoying Smoking and Toasting. We will be back next week with more to taste and more to sample and more to, say ridiculous things about. Have a great week, my friends. We'll talk to you then, and until then,
Cheers, y'all.
cheers, y'all.
Well,